Hey guys, it's Leash aka Monster Maker here and welcome back to another video. I'm finally filming a Procreate tips and trick video. I've been saying I'm going to do it for ages on my Twitch channel and now I'm finally doing it here. So today I'm going to go through some tips and tricks in Procreate that's going to improve your drawing process and it's going to make your life so much easier. Trust me, you may know some of these, but I guarantee that you don't know every one of them. So please stick around. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. So I have my iPad Pro 12.9 inch and my Apple Pencil here, and we're going to open up Procreate. I've already got it here, lovely, matches my background color. To start off with, I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to start with basic gestures, so you can do a 2-finger tap to undo. 3 fingers means redo, so very, very quick. 2-finger pinch to zoom in and out of a piece. And if you do 3 fingers downwards, you'll bring up this copy and paste menu here. You've got cut, copy, copy all, duplicate, cut and paste. So you can copy and paste and you duplicate your thing there. It's quite easy, as opposed to going into these menus to doing that. So you can move this, which is called the gesture bar. This controls the opacity and the size of your brush. Pretty handy. So I'm right-handed, so I tend to have it on the left, but you can actually move it. You go into your options here, into preference, and you can click right hand interface off or on. So you can move it to the right-hand side. If you're trying to find a certain percentage and you find that you keep missing it, if you drag further away, you can sort of see here that it will go slower depending on how far away you are. And if you're right on top of it, it'll go really quick. So if you're struggling, you like really want to get a certain percentage, try moving out a little bit further so you have more accuracy in getting what you want. If there is a certain brush size you want to save, you can click on that and then press the plus button and it will create a little save point there so that you can easily just click on it and it snaps to that for you. This is great if you want to have a consistent line weight throughout your pieces. Next section, we're going to go into some basic layer gestures. So your layers are over here. I've just got a piece that I've made in the past up. You can see all my layers and wow, I have a lot. You can actually rearrange layers by tapping and holding them and dragging them to the desired position. That doesn't really do much for us. And if you bring it up above a clipping layer, it'll kind of automatically make that one a clipping layer. And again, to undo, your 2-finger gesture. And if you have gotten to a point like for this one and you want to actually merge some layers, like if you do line art in several layers and then you just want to flatten it into the one, you can actually merge them by pinching 2 or more layers like this, and that brings it into the one layer there. So let's undo that for now. And if you're actually having trouble, because I find trying to do 2 layers together sometimes doesn't really work, especially if you've got thicker fingers like myself, just create a couple of blank layers and it gives you a little bit more to work with. And there you go. Depending on the size of canvas that you're working in, how much details, lots of stuff, you actually have a limit of how many layers you can make in Procreate. At least in this version, it might update soon. Okay, so for example, you have assets that you want to bring to another canvas. Like for example, I might want to get this line art and take it to a brand new canvas. So you're going to click, drag it out here, and whilst you have that held with your pencil or your right hand, click gallery and drop it there. It'll make it a new file with just that layer on it. So it's a really quick and easy way to drag assets from one piece to another. You can use it if you have certain logos or certain characters, or if you've drawn your own references, for example, like flowers or things that you use repeatedly. It's really good if you're drawing comics and things like that. And you can do it with multiple layers as well. Next thing I'm going to show you again is more layer stuff. You can adjust the layer opacity by clicking on the layer type there. So for example, this is a multiply layer. You can scroll the opacity of it there. And of course from here as well, you can change the layer type. Multiply is one that's commonly used for shading and things like that. But you've got color burn, layer burn, all that sort of stuff. So you feel free to mess around with those and see if you find any effects that you like. If you want to just focus on this layer, let's grab the line art again, for example. I'm going to turn the background layer on as well. So we know that you can click and hold this button here to turn on and off the layer, hide it. But if you actually click and hold the layer that you want, it'll unclick all the other layers and just leave that one showing, which is such a time saver instead of going through and clicking them all individually like this. And if you work with a lot of layers, it can get really messy as well. So click and hold, and then it hides everything else, which is really, really handy. Another great thing that some of you might not know is that if you actually click the layer and select Alpha Lock, what that does is it locks the pixels and transparency of that one layer. So for example, if you are working in line art and you want to change the color of the line art, or you want to change the color of your base layer, you can actually get a brush, change the color, and go over like this. But this is a really quick and easy way to change the color of layers or add different effects without already going out of the lines. So Alpha Lock is your friend. Definitely give it a try. I'm gonna go into some basic drawing gestures now. So for the eyedropper tool, instead of like going and selecting it individually, you can actually click with one finger and hold. It'll pick the color right underneath there, and you can move that around the canvas and you can pick up different colors. This is great if you are using a reference or a screen grab and you're wanting to take that color palette. Color drop, you can quickly fill in a color and drag it to the enclosed area. So for example, I decided that I'm going to change the mask from being white to being, you know, yellow, just as an example. You can click the color here, drag it, and then it'll show you what it's like if it fills up that area. And again, you can undo there. Here's another, I guess, good example. You can use it as a quick way to fill up your line art, and it will fill in that whole selected area. If you find that you want it, if you're doing a sketch, for example, and it's not filling up every single area that you want, you can change the threshold by scrolling this way. Or if it fills up, if it fills up too much of the area, what's a good example? If it fills up too much of the area, you scroll it back. This is really good if you're doing quick sketches and want to fill them in. Let's get into some basic drawing gestures. So you're trying to draw a straight line, but it's just not straight. It's got a bit of a curve to it, and you want to have accurate straight line for whatever you're doing. You just draw and hold, and it'll become a straight, perfect line. So that's a really handy tip that saves so much time. It can actually work for different objects as well. So say you're trying to draw a square, you click and hold, it turns all the lines into straight lines and you get a rectangle. But I want a perfect square. So while I've still got this held, I'm going to take my other hand and put 2 fingers down, and it automatically makes it into a perfect square, and you can adjust it, etc. there. Just undo that as well. And the same works for circles. So click and hold, and that gets you a circle, except it's more like an ellipse. So get your 2 fingers and hold it there, and it gives you a more perfect rounded circle. Saves so much time. Another tip is that if you're having a lot of trouble trying to find the exact color that you want, there are different ways to view color. There's classic, harmony, value, palettes. You can say palettes here. But for the disc, if you're having a lot of trouble, you can actually pinch the color wheel and zoom in, and that'll help you with trying to find the color that you want. You can zoom out again, gives you that view. You can cycle between current and previous colors. Just press and hold the color icon. So say I accidentally went to a yellow and I'm like, oh, I want that exact shade of red I had before. Click and hold. Click and hold. So really short, a shortcut that can come in handy. Say you are drawing with a brush and you really like the texture and you want to be able to erase in that same texture. What you can actually do is click and hold the eraser, and it will make the eraser the current brush that you are using. And this is really good to keep cohesion in a piece, and it's a lot quicker than clicking and going through and trying to find that same brush. So say you're wanting to do a selection, I'm going to click in here and actually want to grab more than just that area. You can adjust the threshold like you did with the color, and it'll increase the threshold and grab more, grab less based on this scrolling, which can be a really quick way to color in sketches and things like that. Or if you're using a line art brush that is kind of textured. I'm going to go through some gallery view stuff next. So if you are in gallery view and you want to have a better look at something, instead of just going into it, you can actually zoom in gallery view. So you get 2-finger spread motion. It brings it up like this. And to close it again, you just do a 2-finger close. Whilst you're in this view, you can actually swipe between them. This is a really quick and easy way to show a collection of your gallery works as well. You can also click and drag to rearrange them based on your preference. This is really good for when you're showing clients to present a certain thing in a certain folder, instead of showing your whole messy gallery like I have here. And then if you actually want to make a stack, if you don't know already, you can click and hold and then drag. It'll create a stack there. You can actually do another way by selecting. So press the select button and then tap in the pieces that you want to go together and then go stack. And that brings it into this one stack here. You can rename the stack by clicking and holding. There you go. I'm gonna name this Digimon for now, done. And so that's named, and you can do that with all the artworks as well by just clicking there. And that's a really easy way to name them. And if you want to as well, you can actually swipe right on a picture, select duplicate, creates an exact copy of that, including the name as well. This is really good if you want to do variations of the same piece, do different color versions, etc, etc. What's great about this is that the time lapse is also included in the duplicate as well. So if you're wanting to save things for YouTube and things like that, you can still do that. Another amazing thing you can do that will definitely change your life. So say you want to go into multitasking or split screen view. It's great for when you're having a reference in a separate program whilst you're working on something. For example, if you're doing a screen grab challenge. So to do this, you drag your finger up from the bottom until you see the little dock down there. From here, you select your desired app. I'm going to open up Pinterest. I'm going to move it to this side, and that will split it evenly between the two apps. You can leave it this way, or you can grab and hold this mini taskbar here. This allows you to select how much space each app takes up on your screen. So you can have your little reference here whilst you're working here. It's really, really handy. You simply grab and then drag it off to the side there, and it shuts that from the screen. Another interesting thing that I didn't know about until quite recently was the modifier square. So that's this square right here on your little taskbar. This is automatically set to eyedropper. So you can scroll and choose colors, but you can actually change, go into preferences and change what this can be used for. You can set it to bring up the quick menu, click and hold the action button, and you can set your favorite action in your quick menu. And you can select, I just want to tap that, put that on, and then that brings up your quick menu instead. So you can do that for new layer. Another useful one is flip horizontally. So if you're working on a piece, this is a good habit to get into to constantly do it, so that you make sure that you're not having a lean in your artwork. Really good for your sketches. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, you found it useful. If you did, please give it a like and comment and all of that YouTube stuff. Click subscribe if you want to see more art tutorials and speed paints and vlogs and all that sort of stuff. It really helps me out and helps me to know what kind of content you guys would like to see more of. Please comment if any of these are new to you. I'd like to know if I have actually taught you something new today. Thank you guys so much, and until the next time, keep drawing. Bye.